What's up, everybody? Benji Bruce here, Speaking Lifestyle, and I get this email a lot where someone says something along the lines of, I've been doing a few speaking gigs, but nothing steady. So how do I turn it into something like a steady stream of gigs? Here's what you do. The problem is almost never what you think it is. Whenever I hear this, when people say like I've been doing gigs, but nothing steady, if you actually take a close look at what you're doing, or more specifically what you're not doing, you'll see exactly why you're not getting a steady stream of gigs. And so I did this years ago to where it's almost like you get pissed off that things aren't working, even though you secretly know you're not doing anything to make it work. So you know that you're not, let's say, contacting events. You know you're not doing it. Inside of your head, you're picturing yourself doing it. You're picturing it. You're like, well, what if I actually cold emailed? And would it actually work? And you're picturing it inside of your head, but you haven't actually done it. Or maybe you've done it, like maybe you sent out 5 emails for the month and it hasn't worked. And that's not nearly enough. And so if you get real with yourself, if you actually take a close look at what you're really doing, you'll see the answer in terms of you simply aren't doing enough of the work. Most people, they rely on referrals. So they're kind of waiting for gigs to come in. Or they do everything except the thing that's going to generate revenue. They do things like, oh, I got to work on my book. I got to create content. Let me do a live stream. They do everything except the thing that actually generates the revenue. That is why they're not getting a steady stream of gigs. And so if you're really honest with yourself, you will notice, I guarantee, you are not doing outreach. I guarantee it. This is why you're not getting a steady stream of gigs. 100%. Either 1, you're not doing it, or 2, you're not doing enough of it, or 3, you're simply not doing it the right way. Those are the only answers. And I can almost guarantee it's usually the first one where you're simply not doing it. Most people, they're just not honest with themselves about this whole thing. They picture it inside of their heads of, I know I should be doing outreach, but how do I find the events? How do I do this? No matter how much content I produce on what to do, people don't listen to my ass. I'm like, dude, come on, here's what you do. In fact, the way you find events, use Google. Just type in award banquet. Bam, you'll find 1 million events. And then just send them an email. Now, of course, there's more strategy behind all that, but that is literally the basics. And so you got to be really, really honest with yourself in terms of, are you actually doing it or are you not? Your level of activity isn't nearly close enough for you to actually get a steady stream of gigs. And this is one of the reasons why I wish I would have recorded myself years ago when I was doing this, because I'd wake up at 7 a.m. I'd get to work at 7 a.m. and I'd do it all day, every day. Like literally, I don't know, at least a year. Like that's what I did all day, every day. Whether I got gigs, didn't get gigs, whether I was motivated, demotivated, didn't matter. I did it every single day until I actually got the steady stream of gigs. And until you do it every single day for a year, you will not get a steady stream of gigs. You can't be all up in your head wondering why you're not getting gigs if you're honest with yourself, you'll see that you're not getting gigs because you're simply not doing the work. I can guarantee it. That is literally 90% of your problem. You're not doing the work. For those of you who are doing the work, you're probably not doing it the right way. And so because you're not doing it the right way, like maybe you're sending out copy and paste emails. And even though you know personally that you never answer these emails, when you get a copy and paste email, you know what I'm talking about, like the emails where it's like, hey, we can help you with SEO and all that sort of stuff. You know you never answer those emails. You're like, it's a copy and paste. And so on the other hand, people tend to do that. They do the exact thing that they don't answer. And so you have to make sure that you're really, really honest with yourself. The reason why you're not getting a steady stream of gigs is because you're not honest with yourself. Be honest about it. Like, are you doing the work or are you not? Send out 100 emails a day for an entire year, then come back to me and complain. That's the only time you can actually complain, is if you send out 100 emails every single day for an entire year and it hasn't worked, then you can start saying, why am I not getting a steady stream of gigs? And so what you're doing is you want to create consistency, because consistency, it leads to mastery, and mastery allows you to build the systems in your business where it just becomes consistent in terms of the steady stream of gigs. So in the beginning, let's say you're not doing the work, you're honest with yourself, you say, okay, I'm gonna do the work. So you start doing it, you start doing cold email, you start sending these emails out. In the beginning, you're gonna suck at it because nobody's really good at something that they just start at. So in the beginning, you're going to suck at it, but the more you do it, you're going to become great at it, especially if you get training by it or training for it. So you get great at it. And then that consistency is going to naturally lead you to more gigs. So that's really what you want to do in terms of if you're not getting a steady stream of gigs, because I almost guarantee you're not being honest with yourself in terms of your work ethic. Just be honest with yourself with work ethic. Make sure you're doing the right things, like actually doing outreach instead of writing your book or whatever other excuse that you're creating, writing a book, content, whatever it is. Those are all things that are the wrong things to do if you want to get on the stage. And so you want to make things consistent, so you build systems in the business. When you build the systems, that's what's going to actually get you booked on stages consistently. And if you want my help with the whole systems, in fact, if you want all the systems, join the SpeakPro Academy. Go to SpeakProAcademy.com. That's where you get all the systems, everything, the templates, everything. And then also you get the Facebook group, obviously, where I get to help you out personally in terms of here's what you can do, or here's what you need to do, here's what you don't do, things like that.